welcome to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. I'm Jemma Gofton with another edition of the programme that aims to make your next cruise or holiday as problem-free and relaxing as possible. So if you have a holiday, cruise or travel-related question, here's how to get in touch. Now you can search for us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for the Holiday and Cruise channel and you'll find us. You can also send your questions to our website at www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Or what about posting us a letter? Give us drop a line to the Holiday and Cruise channel, Cavendish House, Brighton Road, Liverpool, L22 5NG. Now, cruise holidays, as I'm sure you've heard me say before on this programme, are year on year growing in popularity. More so, in fact, than any other type of holiday. There are now more and more cruise lines sailing to and from the UK and offer a truly British cruise experience on board. From the currency, entertainment and food, right down to the 3-pin plug sockets. And here to tell us more about great British cruising is Hayley Edwards from P&O Cruises. Hayley, thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to have you back with us.
Thank you for having me.
What are the main differences between British cruises and the more international ones?
So I would say more British cruises are obviously geared towards the British market. They're geared towards the British customer, the British taste. We sail out of the UK. We have British plug sockets on board. We have British speaking staff. Everything is in British. It's in pound. The currency on board is in pounds rather than dollars or anything else, euros or anything else, any other currency. So it's just sort of really geared towards the British person and the British holidaymaker.
And what kind of things do British Cruise Lines offer in terms of cabins and places to stay?
So we offer a wide range of accommodation on board our cruise ships, whether it be an inside or you want to travel in a suite. You can pick an outside or a balcony. However you really want to travel, it's down to that individual and down to the person really. Lots of people decide they want to travel in an inside because they don't spend much time in their cabin other than sleep and getting ready for dinner. But other people like to sit on their balcony and read a book. So it is just down to personal preference really, but we have a wide choice of accommodation on our ships.
And do you find, first question, lots of repeat customers?
Yeah, so especially with other cruise lines may vary, but with us we find a lot of our business is repeat passengers, and you find passengers that are time and time again loyal to the same ship, even the same itineraries. You know, we'll find people that have travelled on certain ships in certain things tens of times. You know, it's just, if they love it, then they'll do it time and time again, and we do have a real loyal customer base.
And my point being about that question was about the cabins that you would choose. Do you think that people might choose the more affordable one the first time, and then when they get a real taste for cruising, they might treat themselves each time, and by the 10th time they're in a suite?
I do think it does vary, to be honest with you. I've found people that said, I've never cruised before, the thought of an inside cabin, you know, I don't really like it, I want to have daylight, I want to be able to know what time of day it is when I wake up. But then they see an inside cabin and think, oh, actually, it's quite spacious, it's got the same facilities, you know, I'm quite happy to travel in an inside once they've done a holiday and they've realised that you do spend quite little time in your cabin when you're on a cruise. So it is just down to the individual. We've got people that will always travel in a balcony and have always travelled in a balcony, but then you've got people that aren't really that fussed and will travel in an inside time and time again. So I wouldn't say it starts an inside and ends at a suite. It's just down to how personal preference and what you want to do and what you want to make of your holiday.
And what about where you sail from? Do the British Cruise Lines only sail from the UK?
No, so we do offer some fly cruise product as well, which is great because it's more choice to the holidaymaker. And we obviously, you know, especially for us, sailing out of the UK is something that we specialise in, and we're the cruise line that sails out of the UK the most. So yeah, we do sail out of the UK a lot, but we do offer fly cruise product as well, which is great because you can just fly to the sun if that's what you want to do.
So a couple of very important questions. So when cruising from the UK, are you limited to the luggage that you can take?
No, that's one of the great things about sailing from the UK. There's no luggage restrictions, so you can take as many dresses and shoes and handbags as you please. And you don't have to worry about mix and matching to make do because of weight. You can take 10 pairs of shoes if you want to, and that's a great benefit.
But I'm guessing somebody has to be able to lift your case. You can't just take the kitchen sink and some house bricks.
Well, one of the things that we try and do is, as soon as you arrive at the port, we want your holiday to start. So you get out of your car or off the coach, and we don't want you to have to lug your own case on board. So people do have to take your case on board. They have to put them on a conveyor belt, and then they have to take them to your cabin. So obviously bear that in mind when you are packing your luggage, because if you can't lift it, then somebody else probably can't either. But the great thing about it is you can take 5 cases if you want. So there's no restriction in the amount of luggage you take. But I would recommend that you keep the luggage weight of your suitcase down, just so people can lift it. We don't want them to hurt themselves.
And just chatting generically about travelling from the UK, I'm picturing, do we have the same sort of airport queues that we would have if we're at the port checking in and giving you our passports out? Is it the same type of thing as that?
No, I would say it's very different, because you go to an airport, obviously there's lots of different holiday makers going to lots of different destinations. So the atmosphere is very different. You go check in at a cruise terminal and everybody there is going on the same holiday as you, on the same cruise ship, and are going for the same experience. So it's very different, and we have a process in place. So you arrive at the port, you get to enjoy a tea and coffee while you wait, and then you'll get called up to check in. So it's not a lot of waiting time. Normally you can get from port to ship in about 20 minutes or so. So it's quite quick.
And do British Cruise Lines go to the Caribbean, for example? It's so far flung.
Yeah, they do. We go all around the world, and that's one thing that we're very proud of. We do sail around the world from the UK, or you can fly as well. So if you want to do a Caribbean, it might take you a little bit longer to get there, but we do offer Caribbean cruises from the UK. But you can also fly to the Caribbean, sail around the Caribbean and fly home. So there is lots of choice, and Caribbean is definitely an itinerary I'd recommend.
Oh, have you done it?
Yeah, I've been very lucky, and it is absolutely amazing, and the product is just spot on. There's even things like bonded baggage. You arrive at the airport, you check in, that's the last time you'll see your case until you get to your cabin, and so you don't have to worry about picking it up the other end and worrying about getting it onto the coach. It's all done for you, and the day you depart, you don't have to leave the ship until your flight is ready for you, because it's all charter flights, it's all organised by the brand. So you don't need to worry, and it's just so easy. It really is. If
you wanted to, and I'm just sort of thinking outside the box here, if you wanted to make a little bit more of your holiday in the Caribbean and maybe stay in a hotel for a couple of nights before and after, so you're not dashing off, is that something people would do? You're a seasoned traveller, so you should know these things.
Yeah, some cruise lines do offer it, and it is something that you can look at doing with us. But because our flights are all chartered, you fly there and back with the brand. So if you decided to stay on longer, you would have to organise your own flight return, and you would have to organise your own transport to the airport as well. So it's something that you have to sort of forgo when you want to do that. But the option is definitely there. Yeah.
If you want to be a bit adventurous, you could do.
Exactly.
Let's chat about food now and the British palate, because we're talking about how you've got your 3-pin plugs and your currency is all sterling. So are we expecting good old egg and chips and fish and chips? Is that what it is?
Well, there's a very wide choice of food on board our ships, and what we've done is, obviously the British palate is so much more diverse than it used to be, and one of the favourite dishes in the UK is a curry. So what we've done is we bring food from all over the world and dishes from all over the world, but they're sort of catered to what the British market like. So there are certain chefs on board that are trained to do curries in the style that we like them, and things like that. So we've obviously, food for us is a very big element of our brand, and we bring in famous chefs to be able to cook for you and sort of demonstrate that Britishness and that British foodie sort of element of the holiday. So it is there's lots to choose from on board, but it is all sort of catered to the British passenger.
Now, I have a couple of friends who have dietary requirements, and I just was wondering, if you were thinking of booking a cruise, you might think, oh, I shouldn't because the food's already sorted, it's already organised. Is it possible if people, I don't know, they don't have dairy or they're celiac, is it possible for them to sort of say ahead of time?
Do you know what? I actually think going on a holiday as a cruise is so much more easy than going on a package holiday with a dietary requirement, because I myself suffer with food allergies, and you when you go on board, if you've highlighted it before, the maitre d' will automatically come up to you and have a quiet word with you, sort of acknowledge your dietary requirements, give you the menu of the following day, so you can pick it, and they'll prepare all of your food sort of out of the way of whatever it is you're intolerant to or allergic to. And it is one of those places that I feel 100% safe eating the food. You go to a lot of restaurants and they can never guarantee that it's not been in contact with whatever it is you are intolerant to, but on the ship they can, and that's one of the beauties of it. It's a very comforting environment when it comes to that sort of thing.
Lovely, thank you so much. Plenty more questions, but we have to go to this break because I'm being shouted at in my ear. Now, if you're already liking the sound of getting away and perhaps looking to take your first cruise holiday, then this is our first time guide to cruise holidays, and it's well worth asking for. It's absolutely free of charge. Just give us a call, 03330 032 216. Now, calls will be charged at standard network rates, and you can also ask for a copy through our website, www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. And whilst you're asking for this, we'll take a quick break. See you shortly. Welcome back to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic, where in today's programme we're discussing cruise holidays, and Hayley is still with me. Thank you for not disappearing, by the way. Now, let's talk about entertainment, because here's my fear about cruising is I might get a bit bored. I always think, what if I'm at sea and I'm bored? Might that happen?
That's never going to happen.
Oh, I'll take your word for it.
On all of our ships, we have some amazing entertainment on offer, and it's so diverse. There's so much to choose from. So, for example, you can go into the pub and have, your typical pub quiz, and it will be sort of geared towards sports, or it will be name that tune, or anything like that. We offer karaoke. We do even things like knitting corner. You can learn how to knit or crochet. It's amazing. There's so much to choose from: line dancing, ballroom dancing, deck quoits. You can have a football game against the staff. There is really so much to choose from. There's never a chance of you getting bored, but at the same time, if you just want to read a book in the library, then you can do that too, and we have the facility to do that.
The other thing I worry about is missing out on things. And I always wonder about, because every day on cruising there's something really, there's about 50 really exciting things happening over here and over there and everywhere. How do we find out about that? Is there somebody you would chat to? Is there somebody you would head to? Is the person you would chat to about things like that?
So all the staff can always help you with what's going on around the ship, but one of the things that we do as a brand is every single night before you go to bed, you'll get a horizon paper in your room, and in that horizon paper it'll give you information on the next day, whether it be a sea day or a port day. If it's a port day, it'll give you information about the port and the different excursions that you can do. But it will also list literally from about 8 o'clock in the morning up until the early hours of the next day, by the minute, exactly what's going on around the ship. So you can just sort of tick off what sort of things you want to do and sort of work your day around those things. And that's the beauty of it, really. There's just, even on a port day, there's still things to choose from, and it's just absolutely fantastic. The entertainment is brilliant.
And tell me about the best itineraries from the UK, in your opinion. Sort of if we were being very outdoorsy and, we like to get involved.
That's a really difficult one, because I've done quite a few amazing itineraries actually out of the UK. One of my most recent favourites is the fjords. Absolutely amazing destination, so beautiful, and no picture does it justice. It's breathtaking, it really is. Even when the weather isn't great, you still have the clouds that are sort of over the mountains, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful, natural waterfalls and all sorts, so that's amazing. And you've got great opportunity to do some hiking there, or sort of go see a glacier, and that's sort of very outdoorsy. But at the same time, some of the Canary itineraries are amazing if you just want to go lay on a beach somewhere. So if you want sun and guaranteed sunshine, Canaries, even the Caribbean, or flying to the Med, there's so much to choose from. It's really diverse. Something for everyone.
Well, as you're saying this and you're opening up the world to us, do you think that's what cruising has actually done? Has it opened up a lot of the world to us, that perhaps if you were organising it yourself and flying on a flight that you've booked yourself and then getting your own transfer at the other end, you'd go, oh no, I'm a bit panicked about doing that?
Yeah, I do think that. I think there's a lot of security in cruising that you might not get if you're booking it yourself, because everyone's doing the same thing. You're not on your own. Even if you're travelling on your own, you're not on your own. And that's one really great thing about cruising. There's always somebody that is also on their own, and you can meet those people and do the same thing, so you always feel secure and safe. And not everybody likes flying, and the beauty of a cruise is that you can do it without that flying element of the holiday, and it's just easy. It's just such an easy holiday, and if you don't want the stress of an airport, then you really don't have to take it. And we sail into every destination in the world from the UK, even a round world cruise. It might be a long cruise, but you can get around the world from Southampton without flying. It's amazing.
Okay, so just to put your travel hat on, your travel reporter hat here, if you were suggesting to somebody, I've never cruised, where should I go to give me a good taste of it? Where in the world should it be? If
you've never cruised before, I would always recommend starting maybe with a smaller cruise. I wouldn't, maybe 7 to 10 nights. I wouldn't recommend a party cruise, because it is what it says on the tin. It is a party cruise, so it wouldn't be a true reflection of what a holiday is actually all about. But I would probably recommend that you keep it to a sort of a smaller cruise, because it might not be for you, or to be honest, I've never met anyone that doesn't like cruising, but you never know. And especially if you're a little bit nervous, you don't want to commit to a 3-week holiday if you're not sure that you're going to like it. And I know a lot of people would probably feel a bit nervous about that. So, but in terms of destination, it's just wherever you fancy going. I went on the fjords recently because I've never been to the fjords and I've always wanted to go and see them, and it was on my bucket list to do. So it is just the beauty of it is you can just pick wherever you want to go, and there is so much choice. So much choice.
A question that just struck me then when you were saying, you might commit to 3 weeks and it might not be your thing. I was thinking, what if you were seasick? A lot of people suffer with seasickness on cruises, or are they fine?
Do you know what? It really varies. Even if you do suffer with seasickness, there is always something that you can do to prevent that from happening, whether it be medication or little things like there's tips that the staff can give you, like eating green apples or drinking ginger ale. They're all things that will help settle your stomach. But I've met people that love cruising that suffer really badly with seasickness. It doesn't stop you, because there are so many ways to make you feel better that it's not an issue. And I know people probably get nervous about it, but the ships these days, they're so sturdy, they're the most up-to-date stability technology and things like that. So you can hardly feel the movement as it is anyway, unless you're really, really sensitive, which obviously happens. But even if you are, there's ways to stop it, like I say.
So don't let that put you off. If you're somebody who suffers with seasickness, don't let it put you off. Give it a go.
Absolutely.
What about excursions then? Because I would imagine that people book a cruise because those are the places that they want to see. So with an excursion, should you do your own thing? Should you freestyle it? Or should you get involved and be really organised and pre-book everything ahead of time?
Well, we like to we strive upon the fact that you can do as much or as little as you please on our cruise holidays, and you can just go into the port and walk around yourself. We offer shuttle services to the nearest town anyway. So if you've been to a place before and you don't feel like it, you just fancy a wander, then you can do that. But there are certain ports that you might want to go a little bit further afield. For example, if you're in Civitavecchia and you want to go to Rome, then you might want to take a tour and go to Rome, because it's quite far away, and you have that security of knowing that you've booked with P&O Cruises or with the brand that you're travelling with. So it's very sort of a lot of choice, and it's down to the passenger really, how confident you are, and how much walking you want to do and things like that. So you can do either really, but the excursions are very, very good value, and some of them are absolutely amazing. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, book on some at least.
Just out of interest, do some people just not do excursions? Do they stay on board and take full use that lots of people aren't around?
Oh yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's
that
so
might
much.
be me.
The ship has amazing facilities, and you know, especially if you're in a hot destination, you just want to lay by the pool. Then why not? You know, if it's a port that you've been to before, you might not want to get off. A lot of people like to just to sort of stretch their legs, have a bit of a wander, you know, maybe pick up a souvenir or two. But I have known quite a few people just say, do you know what? Today I'm just going to chill out. I'm just going to lay by the pool. I'm going to have my cocktails brought to me, and I'm going to enjoy the sunshine. And that's the great thing about a cruise. You see, you have that option.
I do like the sound of that. I'm a lazy person. Really. What's the biggest advantage of sailing from the UK, in your opinion?
My opinion would definitely be the no luggage restriction, because I'm terrible for packing for a cruise, especially when there's flights involved. The amount of times I've gone over is absolutely ridiculous. So I like the fact that I don't have to worry about that when I'm travelling from the UK. But it's just so easy, and you know, you get to the port and everything's done for you, and you wake up the next day and you're somewhere else, but you don't have to worry about it. Your holiday starts as soon as you get to that terminal, and when you're on a fly cruise, you have to fly there first, whereas if you're sailing from the UK, you're there straight away, so your holiday starts sooner as well, which is great.
I think because also some people get quite stressed at the airport, don't they? So take that away, and that's brilliant. And then for me, unpacking just once, I'm done, I'm dusted, I'm settled, I've made my own little home.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people do. Some people take pictures and put them up in their room, you know, sort of stand them up and sort of give that their cabin the homely feel. And the beauty is you can.
When you said pictures, then it got me thinking. What about Wi-Fi connections and things like that? Do they have them on board? Because how else will we boast about where we are?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with
things.
social media these days. Yeah, no, we offer Wi-Fi facilities on board. You can get Wi-Fi throughout the whole of the ship, so it's beautiful. Obviously, you have to pay. There is a charge to that, but the Wi-Fi facilities are there, and for you to pick it and use if you want to.
How do you compare a cruise holiday, I don't know, to a 5 or 4-star land-based holiday? How does it differ for people?
So for me, I would say that the differences are, one, you've got your bed really, really close. So you're in a different place every single day. You get to see the world, roll out of bed and you're somewhere completely new. You've got everything that you need, whether it be a pool, bars, you know, restaurants, everything sort of literally at your fingertips. And you get that in a 5-star holiday resort as well, in the resort. But the difference is you're in one place and you might have to go further afield to explore something new. Whereas on a cruise, you're in a different place every day. So you don't have to go further afield because you just have to roll out of bed and you're there. And I love that. I love that, you know, knowing that everything is at my fingertips and knowing that the world is at my fingertips, and it is on a cruise, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I think that's where it differs.
I think possibly as well the whole budgeting for a holiday might be a factor here, because when you are on a 5-star holiday, you can't really account for what everything's going to cost you every day, can you? If you Cokes here and ice creams there and whatever, but possibly with a cruise you can budget for it.
Exactly, everything's included in your price. Obviously if you want excursions and you pay for your drinks, but your food, your entertainment, the different destinations that you go to are all sort of included in the fare that you pay. And that it's just so easy. It really is easy, and that's what I really like about it. It's great if you're, you know, not a lot of people are confident at travelling, and with cruising you don't need to be confident because it's easy and everything's done for you.
Very quickly, your little dream destination. You've done the fjords, where's next?
Ooh, Australia. Oh. I'd love to do Ranmore Cruise. For me, that's what I want to do. One day, I don't mind how old I will be, I will do a full Ranmore Cruise from Southampton.
I'll join you. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you in.
Thank you for having me.
Now, just a quick reminder about this. It's our first time guide to cruise holidays, and it's absolutely free of charge. Just give us a call, 03330 032 216. Calls will be charged at standard network rates, and don't forget you can also ask for a copy through our website, www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk, where you can get in touch with your questions for future programmes. Well, that's all we've got time for on today's edition of the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. My huge thanks to Hayley Edwards, and thanks to you for watching. See you next time.